What up, everybody? Paul Abernathy here. Mobile presentation. Here we're basically going down the road, and I had a bunch of questions come in on Let's Ask Paul. I figured on the drive in to work, I'd ask it, answer the questions that came in. A couple questions that came in. Never done the mobile like this, doing it, so bear with me. Don't have my intro music, all that good stuff, but again, welcome to another episode of Mobile Let's Ask Paul. First question we had coming in is, Paul, I noticed that you haven't done a lot of videos lately. What is the plan for the future? Okay, so that's a great one, and they have noticed that. Now, I have videos that are over on our over on the actual paid on the website where you do the monthly subscription thing, and we still have those videos, and there's a lot of educational videos there, hundreds of videos there, but a lot of those videos were made during COVID, and you know, I had a lot of time to dedicate to doing videos, so that is, you know, it's kind of changed, and I know it might be loud, bear with me here, but that was why we put out so many. It's harder to do that when I'm, you know, have a lot of stuff going on, but most of you, the people that follow me, know that we have a new studio coming out first of the year, first quarter of the 2023. We're excited about that, and we're still supporting our Fast Tracks heavily. We have a lot of people that are in our Fast Tracks program. So you're going to see more and more videos. Now, I will tell you, you're going to see a lot of our videos are going to be short, directly to the point type videos covering certain topics. It might be something as simple as non-metallic sheath cable securing and supporting, things like that, or it might be something else. So, but everything that we do is going to be promoting our courses, right? So it's going to be a short, hopefully 20 minutes or less. I'd like to be 10 minutes or less. And at the end of the day, we're going to be giving discount codes that you can purchase programs. Okay, so we're going to be using the majority of our YouTube channel, for example, for promotion. A lot of people ask me, or I get the emails from people and says, you know, what do I use YouTube for? YouTube is really our promotion. All of our videos that we create are really going to go on our website, and we don't really do the public thing anymore. So we're not about clicks. We're not trying to get 300,000 subscribers and make money off of YouTube. That's, believe it or not, some people would say, why not? But that's not my business model. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not into the click that way and get clicks. There's a lot of people, they rely on that. And when you get to the point where you rely on that, then all you're really doing is putting out media content. And I am not a media content producer. I'm an electrical code educator. So for me, it's just a different mindset. Yeah, I know money's money, but that's not how I choose to, you know, make my money, right? So that's just not a primary focus. But we will have a lot more videos coming out that are going to be exclusive to certain topics, whether it's in our residential, commercial, even industrial, our grounding and bonding, our Fast Tracks Black program. We're going to have more videos coming out for that. That's the whole goal. And so look for those to come. In fact, we just did a recent video that's just a promo video for our Fast Tracks Black program. And there's actually a code in there, if you're interested, that you can get $50 off the Fast Tracks Plus program. Right? So that's a $50 off coupon. I mean, that's huge when you think that it's a $525 program and you're going to get, you know, $50 off. And it gives you a year access to all of our videos and things like that. Plus, you get to come to our Wednesday night sessions, so that's good. The next question I get, Paul, is can you explain terminal limitations? I'm confused when you can use the 60, the 75, or when you can use the 90 degree. Okay, so if I have a breaker and I have a piece of wire and I have it going to a load and it has terminals on it, whatever it may be. If the wire is rated for 75. Let's say it's THHN, THWN-2. It's actually rated 90. Okay, so, but it's at least 75, right? So if my terminals are rated 60/75 on either end, then when you go to the terminal limitations in 110.14 C1A for 100 amps or less, or 14 through 2 gauge, you're going to notice that there is an allowance in there. If the insulation is rated higher and the terminals are rated higher, then I can use it at the ampacity at the 75 degrees C. Now, when would I use the 90? Well, I only use the 90 if if all the lugs are rated 90. That's one way, and that's a rarity anyway, especially when it's terminating on a device or something. But also, I can use 90 if I'm going like from busway to busway where there is no limitation at the termination, like you have on a breaker. And I can use the 90 degree ampacity value if I'm going to do adjustment and corrections. And we're permitted to do that. It gives us that permission in 310.15 to do that. So the only limitation you'd have on that is, for example, something like a non-metallic sheath cable, right? Which in 334.80, which is the ampacity section for non-metallic sheath cable, it's actually going to tell you that, you know what, you can use the 90 for adjustment and corrections, the 90 ampacity value, but at the end of the day, it can't exceed that of the 60 degree column. So as long as you come up with whatever the load is, and you've calculated your load, the first thing you want to go is to the 60 degree column to see whether it's still going to work, right? Because you know you can't exceed the value of 60 degree column. So you go and see that if the conductor's sized properly for the 60 degree column, if it's non-metallic sheath cable, for example. Then you'll do your adjustment and corrections in order to see if now, after the adjustment and corrections, that you still have a conductor that can actually handle the load in question. So that's where it tends to confuse people. Go on and pick your conductor based on the column that you're working in first, and see if it doesn't exceed the value of that column. If it doesn't, you're okay first. Then you go, all right, do I have any adjustment and corrections that I have to take place? And then you can use the 90 if the insulation on that conductor is rated for 90. Do my adjustment and corrections and make sure that a conductor still has the ampacity value to, one, handle the load that's in question. So that's the best way to approach the terminal limitations, is pick the column that you need to be in first that's based on your terminals. Make sure you go, if it's 75 degree rated terminals and your conductors are rated at least 75 degrees C, then go to the 75 degrees C column at 310/16, find the conductor you need to use. Now, if there is an adjustment or correction that has to take place, then you do your adjustment and correction. You get to use the 90 degree value, same conductor, but use the 90 degree value, and do an adjustment and correction, and now see if that conductor still has enough ampacity to handle the load in question. You with me? Now, it could be that it drops it down lower than the value that's under, let's say, the 75 degree column. Well, you still can't exceed that value because now the new ampacity is lower. But that's how it works, and that's how you size everything. Now, if I was doing an installation and all my terminals were rated 60 degree or weren't rated at all or had no markings on them, right? Then I would have to use, since it is 100 amps or less, and since the conductors are 14 through 2, then I would have to use the 60 degree limitation. If one of my terminals were rated 60 and the other one was rated 75 and the wire was rated 75, but since the weakest link is 60, then I'm stuck into 60. You get me? So you do get permission under 110.14 C1A to use 75 and use a 75 degree or higher rated wire, as long as everything is rated at that. The moment that any piece is not, then guess what? I have to use the 60. Pretty straightforward. Now, we do have a video on this called Derating Demystified, and we are doing a 3.0 version of that, kind of always wanting to keep it updated and fresh. but it is available over in our monthly subscription. It is not available. Again, you can go watch it, but you have to do a $9.99 a month subscription, which, by the way, is I'm going to be doing away with the monthly subscriptions for that. I'm not going to do away with the monthly subscription. What I'm going to be doing away with is the reoccurring thing. So it charges you. Again, most people know I'm not about just making the money, right? I'm not, subscriptions, or people think, oh, it's nice, you have that money coming in every month. I'm not about it. I'm not about just the money. So, but it is inconvenient for people, and some people question, they don't want it coming out of their account every month, right? So what we do is, boy, it amazes how some people just can't drive. So what we're going to do is you're just going to be able to buy the annual membership, or you can buy monthly access, and you get access for 1 month, and it's not reoccurring, right? It's just for 1 month. And if you want to buy it again for another month, then you can buy it for another month. That's the kind of model we're looking at. But personally, I like the annual. You buy it one time, you get access for a year, and you don't have to worry about it. That's probably how I do it. And even if we have to adjust the price to make it affordable even more for people, it's just an easier model, and you pay for it up front and you get it over with, right? So yeah, pretty straightforward. But anyway, that's kind of the latest questions, couple questions I have. Obviously, we're going to do Let's Ask Paul on that formally. But again, I want to thank everybody for helping us out and subscribing and doing everything. It's amazing the sheer number of downloads we're getting. So I'm excited about that. And, the fact that we have, it's interesting when you think about the number of downloads that you get. And we have over, 1,300,000 or something last month. When you start thinking about those numbers, and you start thinking about the fact that that's bigger than a city that I grew up in, cumulative people listen. I grew up in a town where it was, 60,000 people. And to have 1.3, 1.2 million people downloading, individual downloads, not just pure listens, but actually downloading it, that's amazing to me. And again, it's humbling because, again, I like helping people, and it's one of those things where I know that we're actually helping people learn the National Electrical Code, and that's exciting for me to be able to do that. So anyway, that's about all I wanted to do on our little mobile Let's Ask Paul. If you like these, let me know. I'll give you my thoughts in the morning on all different topics. If you want me to discuss a topic, anything, my opinion on something, I don't mind doing it on the mobile version. I don't want to do it on the video version, but I don't mind doing it. So feel free to hit me up, email us, info@electricalcodeacademy.com. I'm more than happy to do that. So till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.